All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're putting Joint Genesis under the microscope. This is a supplement making some pretty big claims about solving joint pain. So, in this analysis, we're going to break down the science, look at a 90-day user test, and cover the critical details you absolutely need to know.
But let's be honest, there's only one question that really matters, right? Does Joint Genesis actually work? We're going to dig into what the sources say, and we'll start with its core promise, the science behind it.
Okay, so how is this all supposed to work? Well, the science behind Joint Genesis is actually very specific. It claims to target what the manufacturer says is the real root cause of those age-related joint issues.
It all comes down to a substance called hyaluronan. Think of it as the thick, gel-like lubricant inside your joints. Now, the sources say that as we get older, our levels of this stuff drop, and that's what leads to stiffness and pain. The whole idea behind Joint Genesis is to go right after that decline. So, their solution? It's a patented ingredient they call Mobilee. And this is a big deal because it's exclusive to Joint Genesis. It's really the cornerstone of their whole approach to fighting joint decay.
And here's the headline claim. Mobilee is said to boost your hyaluronan molecules by a factor of 10, a 10x enhancement. The goal is to rehydrate and thicken that joint fluid, basically trying to restore the cushion your joints have lost over the years.
And if they can restore that fluid, the benefits are supposed to be pretty straightforward. You're talking about nourishing the cartilage, getting more lubrication for smoother movement, and even supporting a healthy inflammatory response. You know, all the things that are absolutely crucial for healthy joints.
Okay, so that's the science on paper. It sounds good, but what about in the real world? Does it actually pan out? Well, the sources give us a detailed look at a 90-day user test following one person's journey from being a total skeptic to finding relief.
Let's talk about David. He's the user in this test, and he started out, like a lot of people would, pretty skeptical. I mean, he'd already tried other things, stretching, over-the-counter creams, but nothing gave him that lasting relief. It's a story a lot of folks dealing with joint pain can probably relate to.
So his journey shows this really clear progression. On day 1, he's unsure, but hey, there's a money-back guarantee, so he figures, why not give it a shot? Fast forward 1 month, and he's starting to notice real improvements. Less stiffness, less back pain. And then by day 90, the results were apparently even more significant.
And what's really interesting is that for David, it wasn't just about the pain going away. He actually reported feeling stronger, regaining flexibility. That suggests something more is going on here, a real improvement in joint function, not just covering up the symptoms.
Ultimately, David's big takeaway was this feeling of getting control back over his body. He felt like he was moving away from constantly searching for quick fixes to something that felt like a genuine, long-term solution.
Okay, now if you're hearing all this, the science, David's experience, and you're getting interested, hold on. There are some absolutely critical details you have to know before you even think about making a move.
Listen up, because this is important. There are a couple of major consumer warnings. First, you can only get the real Joint Genesis on their official website. This is to make sure you don't get stuck with a fake. Second, every single purchase is protected by a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is a good safety net. It's important to note that the link to the official, secure website for Joint Genesis is down in the video description.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've looked at the science, we've looked at a real user's case study. So what's the bottom line? Is Joint Genesis actually worth it? So let's just break down the findings one more time. The mechanism? It's all about that patented ingredient, Mobilee, targeting hyaluronan loss. The user test case? Well, he reported big improvements in both pain and mobility. And the risk to you? It's pretty low thanks to that 60-day guarantee.
But you know, the most powerful verdict really comes from the user himself. When David was asked if it was worth it, his answer was a straight-up, no hesitation, 100% yes. He even said it's worth every single penny.
So, this all leads us to one final big question. When you look at the targeted science and you see a compelling user story like David's, could Joint Genesis actually be the answer for real long-term joint relief? Based on this analysis, the evidence certainly points toward a very strong possibility. Thanks for watching this review. If this video helped you make a decision, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next analysis. See you in the next one.